Welcome back to the Journeys in Business series. I'm Jess, owner of Jess Creatives, and in this series, I'm sitting down with entrepreneurs to hear about their journeys in business and lessons they have learned.
Hey everyone, so my name is Brittany Lynn. I blog over at brittanyllynn.com, and today we are changing it up, and I am interviewing Jess this time. So we're turning the tables, and I'm interviewing the host of this lovely podcast. So, Jess,
Hey.
why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for interviewing me.
Of course.
On my own podcast.
Yeah.
So I am Jess and I run Jess Creative. So I am a graphic and web designer for service-based entrepreneurs. And most of the time that looks like logos and websites, but I also do books, PDFs, social media graphics, all that jazz. And I also have my YouTube channel and my podcast. So I pretty much just stay busy all the time.
And how long have you been doing this?
I have been doing it for 5, almost 6 years, but full time, I've been doing it for about 2.5 years. So
Cool.
I did it on the side and then quit my day job, became my own boss.
So you built up a side hustle first and then you kind of transitioned into full
So
time.
I started freelancing in college for friends and like my mom and my sister. They were teachers, and so I would do like their classroom posters and their t-shirts and fun stuff like that. And then my friends would be like, hey, like our club needs a t-shirt, and so that's what I would do. And I didn't really think, I was not one of those people that thought I was going to be an entrepreneur. I didn't really think I was going to do that until after college. But even then I was like, oh, when I'm like 40 or 50, I'll do that. And so I was lucky enough to work at different design jobs after college. So I actually got jobs in my field, and then I just kind of kept freelancing and more people kept coming to me. And then it was probably in like 2013 that I was like, I think I want to do this full time in 10 years or so. Like I took it from 20 years to 10 years.
Scaling it down.
Like, let's get a little bit closer.
Yeah.
And started to blog and join Facebook groups and that whole stuff, all that stuff. And then it was in 2014 when I was like miserable at my day job and absolutely miserable, like tears, boredom. I mean, it was awful. And I was like, I just want to do Jess Creatives full time. Like, that's what I want to do. And so then finally, it was after my husband and I bought a house. So I was super scared, but I like calculated it, looked at all my numbers, my clients, and I was making more at my freelance than I was at my day job. And so,
oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, I could totally do this.
And so you just figured that out, like when you like actually looked at the numbers, like you didn't, like you weren't keeping track of it the whole time.
I mean, like it sounds bad, but, and I had an invoicing system.
Right.
But like, cause I wasn't, I was trying to go full time. I just hadn't actually like sat down and looked at it. Like, I saw like, I had my invoicing system and like all that jazz, but it was just, I guess I hadn't actually, like, I wasn't doing like bank, bookkeeping, and sitting down and like adding it up each month and like, what are my expenses? Like, I was just very.
Right. Well, and since it's freelancing too, like it's coming in at different times during the month, whereas like, it's not like a regular salary where like you typically get paid like twice a month, like the same amount of money. So it's like you see the money coming in, but you're like, I'm not really like doing the math.
Right. And I just didn't realize, like, I didn't feel like I was making that much.
Right.
Or, like I was just like, just some freelance, not a whole lot. Like, and then, it was crazy. Like it wasn't every single month, but it was like out of the last 9 months, I think like 6 of them I'd made more than my day job. And
wow.
Like 2 I'd made half. And then there was like 1 month during the summer that I was on vacation, so I didn't
Yeah.
really, but yeah, it was really cool. And then, I mean, it wasn't like a next day I was like, oh, okay, so I'm just going to quit my job now. Like,
Right.
I was still really nervous. I didn't know, like, I didn't grow up with entrepreneurs, so I didn't know a lot of people who were entrepreneurs. So I was like, am I really going to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think it was probably a month, maybe 2 months later is when I quit.
Yeah.
And then the rest was history.
Oh, that's so awesome. So, what is the favorite part of what you do? And since you do a lot of things, you can maybe have a couple of favorite
Yeah.
parts.
My favorite part, like not related to clients, is video. I love that I started, like, I'm so glad I started my YouTube channel.
You are like the video queen. And this was like one of my first videos, so I'm like a little nervous.
You're being inducted into the video.
Yes,
You're
yes,
joining.
yes.
So that's probably one of my favorite things about like my entire like set of things that I do
Mm-hmm.
outside of designing. But then the designing part, I think my favorite part is like getting that feedback from clients of like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, like you took like these 3 random things that I kind of knew I wanted and somehow you like pieced them together and made something really awesome. And it's also cool because a lot of my clients are really new into business, and so they're either like like literally just starting, like this is their first website,
Mm-hmm.
or they've like had a blog and now they like want a full-fledged website. Either
Mm-hmm.
way, a lot of them are new, and it's really cool because I kind of think of it like I'm helping them launch, and
Yeah, totally.
to be a part of that is really cool. Like, you know, with, I don't want to say like without me they wouldn't launch, but it's just like
Yeah.
I know how much a website and a brand is, like how important that is to
Oh,
your business.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so just being able to play a small part, because I know there's like they also have like, I don't help them come up with their services and like marketing and all
Yeah,
that,
but I mean, it's a big deal because it's like, their website is what they can be proud of
yeah,
and it's what they send their customers and potential clients to. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's a huge part of it.
yeah. So it's really cool. And like I love when clients will email me like several months later, and like I had a photographer who emailed me, one of my clients, several months after we like completely rebranded her. She wasn't new in business, but we just redid everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, she raised her prices in that transition, and she emailed me like several months later and was like, so like people are booking my highest package now,
Ah, that's
like, yeah.
awesome.
And they're like, and people, she's like, grooms who never say anything about anything
Yeah.
are commenting and saying like, you stand out among all these,
That's
like we loved
what a
you,
huge compliment
right? Like I
to
was
you.
like,
Yeah.
what? Like, and so for me that was really awesome to like, because I mean, it's kind of sad, but not everyone has those kinds of results. And
Mm-hmm.
not that it's the website's fault, and not that it's their fault either. It's just it's business. But
Yeah.
so getting that kind of feedback is also really cool. And I'm like, yay, like, see,
Well,
people are
yeah.
seeing the value of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it helps like prove that like what you're doing and
Mm-hmm.
what you're talking about. And I think a lot of times people kind of forget to send the like good feedback. It's like they only
Yes.
think of like the negative feedback. So
Mm-hmm.
then when you have clients and customers that say like, hey, you're doing a great job, and you're like, yes, finally, that's just what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
It's super
Yeah.
encouraging.
It's hard because sometimes people, I think also some people forget that like, oh, like my business is booming, and they don't think about the fact that they
Right.
just rebranded.
Right. Yeah.
They're,
And maybe
because
that has something to do with it.
yeah. And so sometimes I'm like, yeah, like maybe you also changed your services in that time, or you changed something else, but like it might be your branding
Yeah,
or
it
your
could be the
website.
website that I helped with.
Like, just
Yeah.
saying, maybe. But yeah,
Yeah,
the clients help make the job even better.
totally. So that kind of leads into the next question. But why do you do what you do? What is it about graphic design and branding and even doing video stuff? Like, why do you do what you do?
I think it goes back to, I always think about like that, my last day job of being absolutely miserable and wanting out so badly. And like the quality of life that I have now compared to then, like I want everyone to experience that. And whether that's, I mean, you know, for me, I'm like biased and I'm like, well, it's because you can run your own business and like that's going to improve your quality of life. But then I know that that's not for everybody. But for me, I'm like, this website, this brand could help you launch your business, like go from part-time to full-time, or maybe they already are full-time, but like they need to make more money and provide for their family or whatever. So like knowing that something as simple as a website could like completely change someone's business, because I'm like, if we take you from Blogger and Comic Sans to WordPress and
the Comic Sans, why does it still exist?
Why? So just like knowing that, you know, the projects I work on could like really impact their business, their family, and their quality of life is really huge for me. And just having like that they could have this freedom that I also have is just really cool. I used to like struggle with, you know, people would like, why do you do what you do? And I'm like, I'm a designer. I make pretty things. Like I don't have this like big, huge, like I'm not a life coach that's like changing lives. So I used to be like, I don't know. But
because I like designing.
Because I like design. Yeah, like, I don't know. But then like the whole education part of my business, I grew up with teachers in my family, and I just really have a heart for helping people. And so, you know, whether it's a video or a blog post, or I just like answer someone's email, I'm like, they're like, how do I change my sidebar? Like, you know, like small things, like if, you know, if that one little tutorial or whatever can like help them make their own website a little bit better or make their life easier, like that just makes my entire day. I've talked about it before. I don't know if on my podcast or someone else's podcast, but I would love to open like a help desk, like a free help desk.
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm trying to remember because I listened to it. So wherever you said it, like I listened to it and I'm like, oh my God. I think you were a guest on a podcast.
Yeah. But I would love to just like create this website where people just come and like type in their question or like send a picture of their logo or something, I don't know, and just ask for feedback, and I just like answer it. Like there's no money. It's just like literally like helping them. And they wouldn't even have to know that it's me. Like it wouldn't be like the Just like Creatives help desk.
Like a mysterious help desk.
Yeah, like one of those, you know, newspaper columns where they write in and ask for help and they don't know who's answering them.
Yeah.
So I just think that would be really, really cool. But
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you were to go back, sit down with yourself, first week of business, what is the one thing that you would tell yourself?
Do not take on every client.
You were quick. You knew this. Like
I knew
you thought about this.
Do not take on every client.
And why is that? I mean, I can imagine why, but let's just go into the details.
Yes, because, and like it's also at top of mind because even now, 5 years into business, I still make the mistake of taking on clients that I shouldn't have.
Yeah, when you know it's not going to be a good fit.
Yeah, and I mean, especially when it comes to design, you have to have the right creativity. You have to have like the right fit with a project. Like I remember I got an inquiry about something that like attached to TVs. I don't know. It was some like little gadget gizmo that attached to TVs. I don't even.
Interesting.
And they like needed a new website, and I was like, no,
this isn't it.
that's not me.
Yeah.
But like I've just found without fail every time that like I've ever had a client break up with me or I've had to like end the project, I'm always like, I knew I shouldn't have taken on that client. Like,
Yeah.
I was
It's just like a gut feeling of like,
yeah.
I feel like this isn't good, but
Yeah. And sometimes it's like the project, like TV, gadget, gizmo things, or sometimes it's like the, either the project, the industry, like that, or which is harder to tell, but sometimes it's the client's personality, which
yeah.
that sounds bad, like I'm blaming it all on them, because it could be the fact that it's my personality that doesn't mesh with them. But it's just really important, I feel like, especially as a designer, that I need to really fit with them, because if I'm not excited about it, I'm gonna have a hard time coming up with an idea.
Yeah. And I mean, it's you're creating their like brand, their entire brand identity. So it's like, if you guys don't mesh well, then it's going to be hard for you to understand them. It's going to be hard for them to understand you. I mean, it's a personality thing.
Yeah. And so and it's hard because especially when you're owning your own business, you're like, I got to pay the bills.
Sure.
I need money. Then it's hard to say no. Like, I still have a hard time saying no now. Yeah. And it's just like, I know that I'm not a good fit for this project. And like, I know that I need money also, but like, this project's going to drive me crazy, and I'm not going to enjoy it. And then it's like, I always have to remind myself, like, why did you even start working for yourself if you're going to be miserable working on these projects? So, and it's especially hard in the beginning when you're like first getting started, because you're like,
oh yeah,
I need these clients, I need this portfolio, these testimonials. But like, it's not like at year 5, it's like, okay, like, no, I can just easily say no to any project I want. But because there have been projects, like, it was at the end of 2016, I said no to like 1 or 2 projects, and then I had like 24 inquiries that said no to me. Like, they inquired and like, oh, like, like, we need a website or whatever, and I would send them the information, and it was like, I couldn't do it in time, or it was too much, or whatever. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I said no to those projects. And like, and I just was like, this is it. My business is drying up. And then like January came and I got a ton of projects. And my husband was like, why were you stressing out? Like, this always happens. You go through these like dry spells for like a month, even though, and what was worse was like, I had projects up until March. And so my husband was like, why are you freaking out? You still have like 3 or 4 months of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but there have been like 24 straight inquiries of just saying no to me, or not replying or whatever. And so I was like so scared to say, which I didn't say no to any of them. I think there was one, but it was like an agency wanted to outsource stuff to me. And I was like, I don't do work with agencies. Yeah. But that was also like, maybe I should have taken that. Like, was I supposed to? And it all ended up working out, but it was just, it's hard to say no, but you also have to be really particular about who you work with.
Right. Absolutely. And I mean, I think it's just like it's a mentality of, I don't know if like being a business owner, I don't know if you like ever get over it. I'm obviously like, I started my business, later than you did. But it's like, what if it all dries up, and like, what if it all goes away? And, I have found, at least for myself, that I can't work from a place of like thinking like that. Otherwise I'm not motivated. I don't do as good of work. Cause like, it is about money sometimes, but a lot of times it's not about the money. Like, the reason why you're doing it isn't necessarily about the money, but on the same hand, you have to pay bills, you have to keep the lights on. Preferably I'd like to shower, so it's hard. I think
it is.
I think hard. Everyone goes through that.
Yeah, but that's what I would tell myself. Just be more particular.
Yes, that's a good piece of advice.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you were to start your business over tomorrow, like starting from day 1, what, if anything, would you do differently? Because maybe you wouldn't do anything differently.
Or maybe I would do some things differently. the whole picking clients thing, like
Right.
for
Yeah.
sure. I would not change that I started blogging. Like that's been one of the biggest things for me. So I'm really glad that I started doing that early on. I would probably try to hire a coach earlier.
Really?
I don't know that I would have been able to,
Right.
but
Because of the
or
whole money, keeping the lights on thing.
you know, like that kind of thing, that can be a problem. But yeah, like hiring a coach or mentor or like something like that would be, because like I said, I don't have other entrepreneurs. Like I didn't grow up with family as entrepreneurs, so my knowledge of running my own business has all been like from Facebook groups
Right. And
and
Googling, what do I do in this situation?
yeah. So there was a lot in the early years that it was like, I don't know. And it's funny because sometimes I'm really good about Googling things. And then there are other things that I've thought in the past, like, why didn't I ever just like Google that?
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
like
why?
why? Like there's certain things, you know, I think if it's really technical or specific, I Google it. But
Yeah.
I wish there had been times that I would have like Googled, like I never Googled like how to start freelancing. Like I
Oh,
just,
interesting.
yeah, I never Googled like how to run your own business. Like
You just went for it.
started.
And you
Like,
know what, though? I think you do that with a lot of things. I mean, even launching this podcast, like, you're just very much like, yeah, like, you don't wait, which, like, I admire about you because I'm, like, the opposite. And I'm the one Googling, like, how do I start freelancing? How do I start a podcast?
Yeah.
And then I, like, research forever and sometimes too long. But that's something about you that you just, like, jump in both.
Yeah.
Like,
I just jump in.
You just start, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, it's good for the most part. There are a few times that I'm like, I wish I had like actually taken a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's things that I wish I can't think of anything specific, but maybe how to start freelancing would have been a good thing for me to Google. I mean, I feel like I've done a pretty good job, but I feel like maybe I would have saved myself some headaches along the way.
Yeah.
And then I wish I had started doing videos sooner.
Really?
Like it was probably for a good 2 or 3 months that I was considering it, and was just kind of like, but video is scary.
Yeah.
But then like you said, like I just jumped in because once I decided, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
It was like the next week or 2 weeks later that I put up my first video. Like,
Gosh.
I just remember like my husband coming home one day and I was like, so I'm gonna do a YouTube channel, and he was like,
where did that come from?
Like, okay, like sure. So, but I feel like I didn't really, it was kind of one of those things, I didn't even know that video for business was like, well, like for our business was like a big thing.
Yeah.
Until one of my mastermind girls friends was like, you should do video, like video is good for your, but she's a video strategist. And
oh wow,
I was like, oh.
Like, that's a thing?
Yeah, so that's one of those, like, and I'm not like, again, I'm not one of those people that like reads a lot of like business articles about like what's up and coming. So that's why I was like, wait, people are on YouTube for business? Like,
yeah, you're like, aren't they just doing like beauty routines?
Yeah, like I was like, what? And it was funny because like my husband loves to watch YouTube videos, like loves to watch YouTube videos, just random like fail videos, like nothing educational.
Pure enjoyment.
Yes. But for me, like I never used to watch YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Like unless it was like, how do I do this on my website? Or, you know, like, how do I change this? That was it. And now I watch YouTube videos every single day. Like,
really,
I follow different YouTubers and like, I'm constantly just like watching stuff, and most of mine is like business related. I occasionally will watch like random, like, you know, daily vloggers that are just doing whatever. But yeah, I just wish I'd done video sooner, because when I started, I was super awkward and tense, like they're really awful videos. And then like 3 or 4 months in, I feel like that's when I had my breakthrough of like, not that I became awesome at video, but I was just like, I stopped being tense And now like video is really fun. And like I've told my husband before, like there are some days where I want to do video more than I want to design.
Wow.
Like, and he's like, well, like we need to run with this then. I'm like,
another budding profession. Yes.
Like,
I love it.
So, and not that I dislike design or I'm getting tired of it, because that is by no means what's happening, but it's just that it's like this new fun project.
Yeah. Well, it's using different talents than you use for design.
So, but there's also like more setup, and you have to put makeup on and clothes, like put on jeans.
At least a nice t-shirt.
A nice t-shirt, yeah. So, you know, some days I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do video today. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, so those are a few things that I wish I'd done or that I would do differently.
Would you suggest that every business owner should do some sort of video, whether it be like YouTube or live, or are you into live video? Do you do
I'm working on doing more live video.
Yeah.
I really only do it in my Facebook group.
Okay.
But I am trying to do it more. I
don't like on Facebook?
Yeah.
Like on your Facebook page?
Yeah. So to answer your question, I would say yes, that every business owner should try and do video. Like, and it doesn't have, I mean, yes, like the industry standard is to do one video per week, but I think, because I actually technically had a YouTube channel before I really started my YouTube channel, because I'd done a few video tutorials, which are like, that are still on my channel and have like the most views, because they're like MailChimp and stuff like that. But I wasn't on screen at all.
Yeah.
And
my videos. I have like 2. And I'm not on screen.
So like, even if you start with that, I think that can be good. Like I would say maybe at least be on screen, like even if it's just on your computer, like, hey guys, today I'm gonna like show you how to set up MailChimp. Sure. And then you go into screen. Like it doesn't have to be a fancy production or anything, but even if you just start with on-screen tutorials, like, because I still do those, I think that can be good. But especially live video, I've been hearing more and more people talk about like live is really where it's at. Like Facebook will push your videos out more, YouTube will push your videos out more, like all this kind of stuff. So I'm like, dang it.
Yeah, it's just like another thing. I'm like trying to like do Facebook Lives. I'm starting with that before doing like recorded videos.
I think it just really helps people connect with you more. Like
totally.
not just I think it does. It helps people connect with you more. And I know like we all hate like how we look or how we sound, but as one of my mentors says, Sunny Lenarduzzi, she's like, we don't like the sound or the look of ourselves because we're not used to hearing ourselves or seeing ourselves. Like,
oh my gosh, I love that. That's such a good.
Like, of course, we don't like it. Like
we're not, because you don't ever listen to it. So then when you hear it, you're like, oh gosh, cringe.
Yeah. So that's what. And it wasn't so much that I didn't really ever struggle with not liking how I looked or sounded. Not that I liked it either, but it wasn't
right. You're neutral.
Yeah, like I was just like, whatever. I just didn't want to be on video. Like I was like people are gonna be staring at me, and I was telling my husband last week that it's super weird to think about. Like Kim Kardashian could watch one of my YouTube videos. Like,
oh my gosh, that's weird. Like I never even thought of stuff like that. Of like it's actually like watch my videos or listen to a podcast or whatever.
Yeah, and Aaron was like, but like, what do you mean? And I'm like, because it's YouTube. Like she could find, I was like, I have a tutorial on like using Snapchat filters on Instagram. Like, what if Kim Kardashian was dumb and didn't know how to do that? And
she could do it.
And like, because my video is like at the top of search for that.
Yeah.
That thing. And I was like,
and then if she Snapchatted about it, like, what?
Yeah. But like, just weird to think about that, like, I don't know why Kim Kardashian, I don't pay attention to her. Like, I don't know why I thought of her, but I was just like, it's so weird to think that like a celebrity could like, for some reason, watch my videos. And then I was like, I took it one step further and I was like, what if there's a celebrity on my email list? And Aaron was like, Aaron was like, well, wouldn't you know? And I was like, I have a ton of like e0b2@gmail.com. Like, I was like, that could
Well, so
be
I
Eva
never
Longoria.
or like, well, yeah, because I mean, to be fair, like, going back to Kim Kardashian, like she probably doesn't use like Kim Kardashian at gmail.com.
Right.
Because
Like, she's
then, like,
probably smarter than that.
like everyone would email that. Probably people emailing it right now.
Yeah.
She probably has some sort of like secret, like mysterious email.
I know, right? And then I was like, well, maybe she doesn't even, like, she probably has an assistant who.
Yeah, she probably doesn't even check email.
Like,
who are we getting?
I know. And then I was like, would she even, like, always wonder, like, do celebrities even Google things themselves? Or are they like, please search this, teach me how.
Tori, research how to do this. I can't
Like,
I'm sure they research things.
I would hope so. I hope they're at least that human enough to.
I mean, I'm sure there are some that are like searching is beneath them. But...
or if like, or, because there are some people who are like not good at Googling things.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, please let me Google it for you.
Yeah, just get
it
over.
I wonder if celebrities are like that.
Maybe. I don't know. You're making me think outside of the box. Like now, every time I get a new email sign up, I'm going to be like, who is that? What celebrity is that? Who am I talking to?
I don't know. Like, yeah, these are the random thoughts that come
These are the things that, I am a little disappointed that you weren't like texting me these thoughts, because
sorry,
Jess and I are texting friends.
Yes.
And I don't understand why it wasn't sent.
I feel like you would have appreciated that thought process more than Aaron did, because Aaron was like, why are you thinking about that? What? This is strange.
And I would have been like, probably like Taylor Swift is on mine. Like,
yeah. So now every time, so now when we get weird email signups, I'm gonna be like, okay, so this FL0123, who do you think this is?
Yeah, and we'll just like take guesses, and we'll be like, like Freddie Prinze Jr. is probably not relevant.
I feel like this is gonna be a fun new game that we have.
It's gonna be great. Okay, so what are you working on next? What's coming down the pipeline? What does the rest of 2017 look like? What's coming up?
So my biggest thing is my Sweatpants and Hustle weekend. Woo! My retreat happening in October in Atlanta. And then other than that, nothing, at least yet. You know me, I launch things in like 2 weeks. So between now and the end of year, I could have like 4 new projects.
Probably by the time this is like posted out, there's going to be like something totally new. Well, who should come to this event? What is it for? What are you going to do? Tell us.
So it's for female entrepreneurs. Sorry, guys, you're not welcome.
No guys allowed.
And you literally get to wear sweatpants or pajama pants or whatever you want. I had someone ask me the other day, like, oh, can I wear sweatpants? I was like, no, it's required. Like,
yeah, like you have to.
You can't come down in jeans.
Yeah, no.
But it's just a mastermind style retreat. So there are no speakers. You can go to 100 other events like that. And each day we're going to have a different mastermind session. So like the first day we'll be talking about your brand and your website. We'll do some audits, bounce around some ideas, like how can you improve things? And I think that'll be really good, even though, we'll be doing specific people. You can still learn from like, oh, like she does that on her website. I can do that on mine.
Yeah.
Different things you could use on your website, that kind of thing. Then we'll be talking about content, so like social media, blogging, video, all that kind of stuff, because I know we all in some way or another struggle with either what to post on social media, what to blog about, or getting started with video, or what to do on video. And then we'll also be talking about growing your business, how to grow your business, passive income ideas, because the whole purpose of the retreat is like, I know we all love going to conferences and like hearing from these awesome people, but then, it's like you're in the hotel with your roomie and you stay up till like 1 a.m. talking, brainstorming. You have all these great ideas. and then you go home and you're like overwhelmed with all of the information.
Yeah, totally.
And so this, instead of speakers, we're just going to be talking to each other. We literally get to sit on a comfy couch in this really cool blue and green room that has like
Ooh,
trendy light fixtures. I'm sure they have like
fancy.
I'm sure they have like an actual name other than trendy light fixtures.
I'm sure that's like the trademark of like
Yes.
trendy light fixtures trademark.
Maybe I should start my own line and call it just trendy light fixtures.
trendylightfixtures.com. There you go.
But yeah, so if you are struggling in your business, if you just want to connect with people, if you have an idea or a big problem that you want to work through, this is the time to come. There are only 15 spots.
Oh,
so
it's very limited.
Very limited. And I wanted to keep it small so that we can actually all talk with each other.
Sure.
I went to a retreat a few months ago. There were 75 people and I talked to like 2.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Outside of my roommates, I talked to 2, and it was like,
Right.
I didn't get to talk to people. And so I want this to be a time where we actually get to talk. You don't leave overwhelmed with like, oh, I have a notebook full of notes from all these speakers. Now, how do I implement? You actually get to come here and be like, okay, I don't know how I'm really supposed to use Facebook and Twitter to grow my business. Like, everyone talks about it and I don't understand.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's it. And you can go to sweatpantsandhustle.com for details and to sign up.
Awesome. It sounds super fun and super actionable. I love that it's like a small, close-knit group.
Yeah.
And I feel like people, you know, after attending this, I feel like it's like not gonna like end. Like these people, like you're gonna be in contact with these people being like, oh, I implemented this, and like this is what happened.
And you do get a mastermind out of it because we'll be talking beforehand. So you don't walk into a room full of strangers. We're going to talk before and after. So you actually do go home and implement. We're going to keep you accountable for a few months.
Cool.
And then I'm sure, like you said, people will like stay in touch and keep going with the mastermind.
Yeah.
At least I really hope they do.
Yeah. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So where else, what other websites, social media handles online can people find you at?
I am at justcreatives.com, and then pretty much every social media site I am at Just Creatives.
All right. Sounds awesome.
Yay. Thank you so much.
Yay. Yes, thank you.